Okay, so we've heard from the home team, Mount Pleasant Football Academy, and we just invite Mr. Everdeen Scarlett, the assistant coach at Cavaliers FC, for his comment.
Good morning, everyone. This game Monday night, we are pretty much optimistic and we are ready for the challenge from Mount Pleasant FC. I would say it's disappointing end to a pretty good season for us at Cavaliers as well. Nonetheless, we will show up Monday ready to play some good football.
All right, so you're carrying the badge not just of a coach but also of a player, Mr. Scarlett. Tell us some of the players, some of the players on your team or in your squad who you'll be looking to present to win that game on Monday night.
As usual, we are looking ahead towards the MHM trio to give us a good showing for the last game of the season, and I think they are pretty optimistic and ready to play.
Okay, one or two of your defenders got hurt recently in the games. Are they back in the squad? What is the story with injuries or the preparation this week going into the third place playoff?
Yes, Kamai Simpson got injured in the first leg. He's back in training, and I think he should be ready to play Monday.
All right, so I'll open it to the members of the media if anyone has any questions for the representatives from Mount Pleasant Football Academy and Cavalier.
Since you have the microphone, let's continue. How difficult was it for the players to bounce back from the semi-final loss? Because obviously Cavalier will have fancied a chance of getting all the way to the final.
They are young players, and it was difficult for them even to come out to train for a third place playoff. We did some things, we worked on some things, going into the game, and for the past couple of days, they seem happy and they are ready to play.
So you'd say then that they mentally they've recovered and they're ready to put on a good
Yeah, man, they are ready to play.
Alright. So, Mr. Scarlett, how difficult was it to get?
Chris, just before we start, and I probably should have to do it before, members of the media, just before you pose your question, I prefer if you just identify yourself and the media house you're representing.
Alright, Chris Scott, ISM, Sports Network. How difficult was it to get back these players into the frame of mind?
It's football, and these guys, they love football, and they like it, and they like to give a good show at them. So once football, they are ready to play.
Questions? Okay, there's no further question.
Most of the fans, they satisfied with our performance and all that. Some of us players, could have done better, probably to the final and to win the league. For most people, we did very well for it. For us, we know that we still could have won.
The semi-final showing A lot of people think that probably Mount Pleasant could have given more. What are your thoughts personally?
Well, we did what we have to do, just have to apply for playing up against sport. Can't go either way. I think we can do it.
Obviously, finish the season hunting the third place. Nobody really wants to play in that, but that's what's in front of you. How do you fancy a chance of finishing third in your first season in the Western Premier League? Obviously, it would set a good tone for the history of the club. To finish on a high winning the third place. How are you feeling about it?
Every player is in training, still having intense training. With that, song and do a good show. It will be a great achievement for the club, so we take it very serious.
One more question. Brandon Carvalho from Island Sports. Getting to the semifinals in your first year, excuse me, was definitely, I would say, a great achievement for your club. Do you think now, looking a bit ahead next year, is it finals or bust next year?
We set a good foundation this season, so that we just go back and look at some things that we need to work on to go to the history, find to win the league.
Just a few questions for both Cavaliers and Mount Pleasant. Usually a third place playoff takes one of two formats. People tend to play wide open football and a lot of goals are scored or tends to be dull and not interesting. But both Cavaliers and Mount Pleasant have said that you both are prepared and coming to play hard for the third place player. But there's another race that both of you have players involved in. It's the leading goal scorer of the league, which is led by 12 goals by a few players, and players in both of your ranks have a goal or two below, as we welcome Howard Walker from the Jamaica Observer. What are the intention of, do you think it will be a high scoring game, or are you going to play a strong defensive network? Mount Pleasant, as a home team, I put that to you first.
Alright, Cavalier is a home team that we haven't beaten this season. And we need goals. We need goals. So we are coming to score goals, and we have Francois Sweeney, who is on 11 goals. So we need him to get goals. So we are coming to play entertaining football with the expectations of scoring a lot of goals. We need to settle this one with Cavalier, and in doing so with a lot of goals. So we are not coming to sit back and play like a defensive game. No, we are coming really attacking, because we need to get Francois Swaley up there and also to settle the score with Cavalier. We need to settle this one.
I can tell you that I know this game would be a game of shootouts, because if you check the 3 rounds that we played in Mount Pleasant, it was a low, all 3 games were low scoring games. I think the first one was 1-1, beat them 1-0 at Jackson, and we drew 0 down there. So I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but it's going to be a quite interesting game. And he said he had a score to settle. I don't know what score he has to settle on. We're not coming to lose. We're not coming to lose on Monday night.
Okay, and so I reserve the third question for Sule Makala, who is the only player here playing now in a defensive position, but traditionally has been an attacker and popped up and scored a late header in the last game. Sule, tell me of you and your teammates. Francois Swebe has been scoring mainly from the pitch to get your name edged up the score sheet as well.
Well, my thing is the just discipline. just want to stay disciplined and trying to win the third place. If France has to get a couple of goals, that's it, man. Try to get them as well. Just want to stay disciplined and hope that we win this third place.
Any further questions here? The members from Port United and Waterhouse also in the house. David?
Probably more to you, Clive, or the league director. I say a 5:30 start the first the extra time of the
Brings to penalty kicks is what I see here. Am I right, France? There's a draw, you go straight to penalty kicks. It's the night of the final. So there's many other presentations before and between games by the sponsors and persons who have won individual awards throughout that will be taking place. And as always, just to remind, at the end, we need everybody, all the teams, all the sponsors, the media houses to move in a coordinated fashion. And have the presentations to the main prize winners after. Yes, Pat?
Immediately following their match, we will be presenting the third place. So they could, not just walk the field or go into the property line. Okay? So we appreciate your cooperation because time will be tight.
All right, there's usually a lot of presentations done between the games, before the games, and after the games. So those will fill those times. So remember, no extra time in these games. You go directly to 5 penalties, and if there's not a winner there, you go to sudden death penalty kicks thereafter. Someone has to be the third place, the fourth place, the first place, and the second place on the final night of the playoffs. All right. Just one other question. Leading goal scorer with 12 goals. In previous seasons, we have had 16 goals and 18 goals, and up to twice that in the 20s. Recently, who do you think is going to be the leading goal scorer at the end of the league? Sule, I'll pose that to you first as the player.
Like in Francois, they will get a yeah, I think Francois will get a in the third place game. The mindset is to just go and play discipline, attack well, so I think you will get a goal.
Everdeen, you have a couple of players just a little behind.
I think this Mount Pleasant team should let Alex Marshall score some goals so he will win the goal scoring talent.
Not sure how agreeable they're going to be with you, but let's see how that goes. Yes, Albert?
To Cavaliers, coach. Are there any...
Albert, remember, we prefer if you introduce yourself.
Albert for PFAJ. Are there anyone that you intend to keep back from playing on Monday night, seeing that they might be getting an overseas contract?
We will be playing everyone who is expected to do.
So there's no one you want to save from receiving an injury on Monday night?
No.
Albert, you know you're not going to ask a question like that in my presence and get away with it. Who are the persons up for overseas contracts that we don't know about from both clubs?
I guess he should be the one to answer that question.
I think more the clubs would know exactly who.
No, too, but enlighten us some more.
I think we have a couple of players who should be going on overseas trials. I know one for a fact, Kaim Paris. He should be going to Slovenia sometime next month.
And who's the next player?
I'm not sure.
Albert, tell us.
We know Alex Marshall went on a trial earlier this year. What has become of that trial?
We are waiting on the club.
You're waiting on the club.
Yes.
Nothing further on it.
No, we are waiting on the club.
Let us not wait out of faith. Cavalier?
So Mount Pleasant, anything from your side? We know you have repeated your victory in the CONCACAF under 13 for the All-Island title in Jamaica. You go to, I think Costa Rica is where that tournament will be in another month or two. That's the under 13 level. Anything at the senior level with prospects for players going on the international scene?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. David?
One of the players say that was probably not here in India.
Not here
One
yet.
for the player.
Sule Makala?
Yeah. Mount Pleasant came with a image and a brand, and probably for all of us, we have seen some interest back in football in sector. Just wanted to ask you, how was that disappointment of not reaching the final? What was your reaction to your supporters?
As I did say earlier, most of the supporters think that it did very well, so they're not coming down that harsh on us. It's just we players who know that we could have done better to reach the finals to be disappointed.
Okay. Any further questions for Mount Pleasant Football Academy or Cavaliers FC? No? Okay. Thank you, gentlemen from Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers. So that was Alfred Barnett, assistant coach from Mount Pleasant, and Sule Makala, player, and Mr. Ebony Scarlett as assistant coach representing Cavaliers FC. Could we invite the two finalists, Portmore United and Waterhouse FC, just to come forward? See assistant coach Daniel Bent and Captain Keita Simpson from Waterhouse FC, Ricardo Billy Gardner, assistant coach, and player Shaban Sean Paul, both from Portmore United. Okay, so just to introduce them, to my furthest left, goalkeeper Shaban Sean Paul from Portmore United. Coach Ricardo Billy Gardner needs absolutely no introduction. In the center, assistant coach Daniel Bent from Waterhouse, and Captain Keita Simpson closest to me here. So both representatives from finalists, Portmore United on the left, they're the home team, and Waterhouse FC on the right. Again, special welcome to anybody from the media or sponsors who is coming after I've done the initial introduction. So we go to the second game. This game is scheduled to start at 8:35 p.m. on Monday night. It's the big one, it's the feature. It's the two most consistent clubs throughout the league. First place in the league, Portmore United, second place in the league, Waterhouse FC. Both of them have held their form and come through the semi-finals unscathed and repeating their presence in the finals. Waterhouse would want to change the result. Portmore United definitely would want to retain the result. So we have a cracker going up on 8:30 p.m. and it's good to see that consistency is ruling not just across the league this year, but into the playoffs, and as it did last year, that we are getting consistent performances. I would invite Ricardo and Shaban Sean Paul from Portmore United just to say a few words as the host team on what they're looking forward to in the Red Stripe Premier League finals on Monday night.
Good morning, everyone. It's the most important game of the season. It's one of the goals of the club. I've said from the beginning of the season. To to reach to the finals, and I think the players have done a tremendous job to get us into the finals. Must commend the Waterhouse team also, who has been fantastic throughout the entire season. And whenever we play them, it's always a task. So we know how difficult the game will be. We know what we are up for. And come on Monday, the fans are going to get a real showing of some good football in the National Stadium from two teams who have been consistent throughout the entire campaign and who have worked tremendously to be on top and come out on top, not only in the preliminary round, but to maintain that consistency in the finals on Monday. This doesn't happen very often where the two top teams meet head-to-head in the finals, and I think both clubs have done tremendously well, as I said. But as I said earlier, it's one goal achieved, and we have another goal at hand. And in the same breath, we know how difficult a Waterhouse team is going to be to break down. So we will have to be on point. We will have to be ready to manage everything that the Waterhouse team throws at us. We have to be at our best individually and collectively. And I think once we do that, God's will, we will retain the trophy.
Thank you, Ricardo. Shaban Paul.
Good morning, everyone. As Coach said, it is the championship game, so you know it will be the most important game of the season. Going into this game, Portmore United team will just come out and play our game, because I think that our faith in our hands. So we just have to come out and play as a team, keep the mental focus. Thumbs up to the Waterhouse team, they have been consistent, so it's not like we're going to come and approach this game and take it for granted. We are coming to play some good team football and put in the work out there on the field.
Thank you, Portmore United coach Ricardo Gardner, Shaban Paul, goal just for their comments.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Portmore versus Waterhouse last year was, and we're very much ready for the task. It's not going to be easy. When you look at the breakdown of the Waterhouse team and the experience that Sean Laws and Nikolai Kinnison. When you look at the breakdown of the team in defense of Sean Laws. So when you look at the breakdown of Waterhouse in defense of the experience of Sean Laws and Nikolai Kinnison, Ricardo Thomas, the national player. Mark Miller was the most assist in the competition at right back. In the midfield.
A lot of genius in Kemar Neely, Jermaine Stewart, and our captain here, Keith Simpson. That's a wealth of experience. So that's a basically mixing up of where we get the goals and so forth. And you come front with 2012 schoolboy standout Andre McFarlane was transcended to the bigger leagues in being a good player. And Andre Leslie, Leonardo Thomas. And then you look at the bench, coming off the bench, you have a lot of hungry players, Andre Fletcher, Gervon Brown, and the list goes on. So we're a solid unit, and I'm without a doubt, I think we have a better chance of winning this Premier League title around Portmore probably next year. So we're very much ready and ready to go, basically.
Thank you, confident Southern coach Daniel Bender. Captain Keith Simpson.
Yeah, Firstly, hats off to Portmore. It's been a tough season, and both teams were, very well prepared, as you could see it. Both teams did well, but they got the nod. And I think they deserve every credit for winning the league by points. But we're in a final now, which we were last year, and we have been preparing really well. Everybody is in tune. It's going to be a game to watch, a good game of football. I know both teams want it, but it will be on the night who wants it more, and we just want to be on that side. That's all. And hopefully, at the end of 90 minutes, maybe 90 plus, we'll get what we deserve. Everybody would say throughout the season both teams have been in great form, but everybody has ups and downs in football. For me personally, every time they drop off, we drop off, and that's not good. Form goes ups and down, and when it matters most, we stepped up against a team that everybody said had our ticket. But football is on the day, and we just have to come out in the final and perform to the best of our abilities, and God's will, all goes to our favor.
All right, Captain Keith Simpson here, just to ask both Portmore United and Waterhouse FC, what has been the tale of the 3 games you have played so far in the Red Stripe Premier League for the 2018-2019 season?
Well, all 3 games have been close encounter, but this is a finals, so on Monday, none of these 3 games will matter. It's who go there and deliver on the night, who go there and win the battles on the night. It's who go there and be in the best form on the night. We are putting in the work out on the field. The players are upbeat, and these are the games that players live for. Playing finals where you get the chance to win trophies. These are the dreams the coaches work for throughout the entire campaign to win and lift trophies. And this is the moment. This is the moment that we go there and the players execute. As I said earlier, it will be a game to watch, and it will be a game that you will see some good football play. Our players are up for it, and as I said, they are upbeat and working really hard in training. And one day you will see it out there on the field.
I would agree with Bibi that the previous 3 games would have not counted, would not count, basically come to Monday night at 8:35. Definitely, probably for some teams, the players will have the mindset that we have drawn with this team a few times or so forth, so they'll probably have a ticket for us, but that's not the case, because if you got the semi-final to be went, you are getting Cavaliers. They have beaten us 2 times in the season. We'll get the better half of them. That's why we're in the finals. And the players and the coaching staff and technical staff and even the entire community is very much pumped up for this occasion. We know that it will all come down to which team with the set of players and coaching staff makes the best decision at whichever time, because in football and in life generally is when you make the right decision at the right time that favors the greater good. And for us, we're very much, that's a concept for us here at Waterhouse in making the right decision at the right time. The players are hungry. I personally, as a very young coach, I think everybody older than me, is very hungry for this title going forward. So we're very much ready for it, and we're looking forward to lifting that trophy on the 29th coming Monday.
Okay, just to follow up on the similar tag that we discussed before. Tremaine Stewart, I think, have 12 goals, leading goal scorer in the league. Javon East bubbling just behind Solomon Church. I think last weekend getting his left and his right foot blessed. He scored again on the weekend. Who's going to be the leading goal scorer in the league? Both of you have heavy stakes in that. Sean Paul is highly responsible for saving goals, and a defensive midfielder in Keita Simpson defends and pops up and scores from dead ball situations. Tell us your thoughts on the leading goal scorer in the league and your leading goal getters within your teams. Portmore first as the host.
Javon is on form of late, but you know football goes at times. Sometimes you dip in form, but I think he's finding his footing at the right moment, heading into the finals. He got a couple in the semi-finals, so hopefully he can bring it over into the finals. And it won't be easy, as I said, because we're against a very tough opposition. But hopefully, if he brings his best game forward and put his best foot forward, he can get a couple, and that will take his tally a little bit up.
Okay, yes, Tantan has been a gem. It has been a gem of a season for Tantan this season. You know, 12 goals is a good amount. I think about a majority, probably 90% of them would have been from the dead ball situation. So I know that Sean Paul will be looking at that. So if he slip, it's right. So definitely, he is also a person that probably will lost, probably in and out of the game. But he will just be a person that also will just pop up and score the odd goal in one or two. But going up against Portmore, I think he has a personal vendetta against them. So he wants to prove against Portmore, and I think everybody, that's only in him, but the entire team is behind of him and want to stop the class in this final. So it is definitely on Tantan's side to get this doing goal scorer, and I think he has probably 2 or 3 goals in the finals, all things being equal.
All right. Both Portmore and Waterhouse in recent years have not won in the finals as often as I think both clubs would like to. Portmore leading with 6 titles overall, would want to get to that 7 number as the first club. Waterhouse, I think, seems to be the hungrier of the two and need to get their names etched on it. Let me just ask the players here, starting with Captain Keita Simpson, who has come back into the league from playing in the regional tournament in Trinidad the last couple of years. What are your personal ambitions and what are the club ambitions from the players' perspective?
Firstly, as players, you trust what the coaches put out for us to do, and at the top of that, you try to perform as best as possible within a team concept. For us, we've been working hard. On the day, you just need to show up. And whatever it is, as much as you guys were saying, we want our teammate to win the Golden Boot, yes, but we need the trophy more. So it's whoever scores on the day gives us the win. You know, whichever way, however we get the goal, we're going to take it with both hands and fight hard, because we know these guys are tough opponents. Play them 3 times during the season, and as you know, we drew all 3 games. And we have to respect that and look forward in the final to try to just get the nod, to go ahead and make use of whatever chance, because you know it's a final, you may not get much, maybe it's only one for 90 minutes, and you just have to capitalize. Whoever is in a position to score, put it away, and then we fight for what we have.
Thanks, Keita. And Sean Paul looks like he's expecting just to penetrate your goal once. As maybe not. You both came to a draw in last year's finals and went to penalty kicks. tell us your thoughts on each other from Bob.
Well, going forward into this game, it's all about responsibilities. So the players know their responsibilities, coaches know their responsibilities. Coaches give instruction, the team now is for the players to grasp the information given by the coach and execute what go on the game. So what we need is a total team effort. You know, players, one family. And you said that we have won 6 titles and Portmore and Waterhouse had 1 less. But at the end of the day, it cannot be too much. Because if you're playing football and you want to be in the bigger picture, to be exposed, you have to always want to be champion. So other persons out there in the footballer can see you where you can make it better and have a better future in football.
Thanks, gentlemen. We just open the questions to the floor and the media houses. Third, Albert.
To Peter Simpson. What has been the difference this year in motivating the team to win this title than it was last year under Donovan Duque?
Firstly, hats off to Donovan Duque. He did a great job last year. This year, I think we have a more rounded team. I think the coach sometimes he can tell you don't even sleep. You know, it's so hard to pick the team. You know, the team train really hard. If you watch one of our sessions, you probably think it's a war. You know, the gaffer, we trust in him. You know, whatever he tells us to do, we try to do it to the best of our abilities. You know, he puts a lot of trust in us. You know, and we just give him the same respect. So again, with all that one, I guess you don't need much motivation.
Coach Bent, Brandon Carvalho of ISN. So you notoriously said about Cavalier, if you had to put their head on the stick to get here to face Portmore, you would do that. I would say that you sort of accomplished that goal. Do you have any similar remarks towards Portmore, what you'd like to do for revenge from last year, maybe?
Yeah, I think you have a friend saying that, but I don't want to attack maybe today, but it's pretty much all about getting the job done. If it needs be that we apply to hurdle jabs and then go for the knockout punch, then so be it. So we are very much ready to give what the game offers. If it may be a dogmatic affair or if it's going to be a derby-like affair, classic game of intense football, upbeat football, which is what a final should represent. Because persons near and far will be watching and the players will be on show. So I think both teams will definitely give a good work of it, and we're looking forward to it, basically.
You guys lost all 4 meetings with Waterhouse last year. You got with Portmore last year. This year, you guys have to do 3 games, including a 4-goal thriller with the champions. How confident are you guys that you will do one better and get the victory in the finals?
Confidence. This team is not short on confidence. As I said, in dissecting the team, and you, as a media host, can look at the team player by player. You look at the experience, but as we have in midfield, as it is to Chimane, Keithy, and Dada, who have represented the country at numerous levels, who have played overseas. I mean, you just can't always want to sit back and smile. When you look at as a mean defense with Mark Miller, Sean Lars, Nikolai Finlayson, and Ricardo Thomas, and you have upbeat players coming from the bench, Denardo Thomas, Andre Fletcher, Leslie, Gervon, Brown, the list goes on. You can't help but to be confident because you have the arsenal to apply the pressure and the heat, basically.
How much would you say have you guys improved defensively
I think we defend more as a team this year. A little more effort has been putting in front. You know, as you know, first line of defense is in front, and that's after the persons in front. Whoever play, whenever they play, they apply themselves, both attacking and defensive wise.
We're in a previous environment, you're now in this environment, and defending champion, going to the finals. How do you find that environment? Play up, training session, intensity, match preparedness, and playing that match game. How do you find this?
Well, just like the previous environment that I came out of, it's very competitive. The players enjoy working hard, and this is what football is all about. Once you enjoy doing the hard work, then everything else will follow after. They are a unit that is together. They create a very family environment where you can just come inside the room and it's like you're part of the family. And I think that goes beyond to show it's no surprise why they are where they are, because the game doesn't only play on the field, but most importantly, it's the relationship that you develop with each other on the field also. I think it's a very good environment to be a part of, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm looking forward to great things, and I just want to use the moment also to wish Harbourview Football Club all the best, because that's where I've done everything, and I've learned a lot from there also. So hats off to everything that we've done here, and hopefully everything can pull together again and they go on to do even greater next season and other seasons to come.
Yes, David.
There's so many storylines this game. Both teams haven't lost or won against each other. Repeat at the finals. So many things. And, the reality is that Port United are the defending champions. They're coming to take it. Where are you now in terms of mentally, the preparation and the belief of being able to retain this title?
Well, the mental preparation is over 100%. You know, yeah, we are the defending champion, but that's in the past. Our mental focus now is on the finals to come. Our motto is to take it a game at a time for the entire season, and that has worked. And the game in front of us now is the finals on Monday. So we are not dwelling on the past, we are just coming to do the job in the present.
Would you say that the two teams that are playing in the final are the two best teams in the league, in your opinion?
Well, they are the two most consecutive teams. You know, they are consistent team. Thank you. As you can see throughout the season, both teams has been in the top 3 right out. So I don't want to say the best teams, but consistent hard work, and it shows in the table.
Do you anticipate this one going as it did last year, all the way to penalties, based on the form of the teams and the results that we had?
Well, like I said, that's in the past. Monday is a different thing. You just have to go there and play and do your job that you're supposed to do, and then the result will come from there.
Maybe you've come into a good situation, and obviously this will work for you. You've been there, you've seen what's been going on. How do you assess the team and where they are and being able to repeat as champions?
As I said before, it's a hard-working group. They come in each day, and they motivate each other, they push each other from start to finish. Since they arrived, this is what I get. This is the feeling that I get. This is the feeling that runs through the club, and it runs from the administrators, come right down to the players, and the environment that is created is just for the staff and players to just come and work and do something that they love, and you can see how much they love and enjoy what they're doing, and it's a joy to be a part of something that is that changed life for others, because for me football is life. Football is life, and football is what give me everything that I have. So for me to be a part of such an environment that was created from the administrators, it's something good to be a part of, and it's something that I'm even looking forward to. It's good going into these environments and see how happy the players are to go there and execute and learn and receive the information. And this was created straight through the football club, and as I said, it's something good to be a part of.
Daniel?
Yeah,
think about the point. What else has been to the finals in recent times? Twice, as far as the finals. Obviously, this is something that has been back in the minds of everyone, not just the players, but the spectators. How do you treat that in the night of the finals to ensure that it doesn't become a burden?
I look at it, and I think the team also look at it, and the coaching staff and everybody look at it. That's a past. Whatever had happened in the past, that's long gone. We are now in the present, and we control what happens in the present time. So, yes, we would have been in 2 previous finals before, but this time it's a bit different. As Kipe read to that, it's a different vibe. We had gotten some new personnel as relates to players from different clubs and so forth, and we had sharpened up on players who was with the team last year. So it's a more rounded team. We have competitive players in basically every position, even second persons, third players who can play in every position, and the team is so diverse and so unorthodox that it is so, as Kitty said, sometimes it's nightmare and difficult to pick 11 on match day. So that's the luxury that we have, and it has been going good for us throughout the season, and we're very much grateful that we have reached this far, and I think God probably give us a bigger favor with the work that we put in the final. So it's all down to that basically.
And my last question. What was midfield was able to start targeting midfield in the semi-finals. A lot was said about the young boys and everything, but the experience showed. And what is it like playing with that particular set of midfielders in the semi-finals and throughout the season?
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. There are 2 good players in their own way. Not much of a difference between both of them. And, for the whole team, it's just a pleasure to have them a part of us. And we're grateful for all that they have done. Majority of the games, whenever they're not scoring, they're creating. So hats off to them. But we have a team, and we play as a team. But in teams, you have standout players, and both of them are 2 standout players. And they're big time players, and big time players show in big times. And that's what they're doing in every single aspect. And you have to be grateful for that. As much as we have a good team, we have good individuals, very good individuals.
First question to
Albert, David.
Chevron, Sean Paul. I want you to delve a little bit more into what has it taken throughout this season to motivate you to become back-to-back champions and being in your 4th straight final, because this is something you're achieving this over the years. How has it been?
Well, as I said before, we set our goals at the beginning of the season, and coaches and management staff always tell the players to focus on the bigger picture. Bigger picture meaning trying to get out of this league and to play in a league overseas. And mentally, for us, we think that the best way to do that is to always be on top, because if you're on top, then you will get the views that you are looking for from the football fraternity out there. So that is one of the motivations. We always try to stay as a family. You know, in training, it is very competitive. You might play well in the game last week. It doesn't guarantee you that you'll be in the team coming next week. You have to come again in the training session and work hard, because the team is picked based on what you do in the week. So I think that also keeps the players sharp and mentally focused, because you always want to be in the team. So that helps a lot with us being consistent.
To Keith Simpson, somewhat disappointed that Tremaine is not here. Tremaine is not here this morning, because I really want to know how he's thinking playing against a team where he basically kickstart his career. If you could just think a little bit like how Tremaine would think now, and tell me what would be going through his mind now coming up against Portmore.
We speak a lot, you know, and this is one of his most focused week in training. He's actually upbeat about this whole final, you know. For him, to be honest, it's just another game, you know, another game that it's a final, and we want to win, you know. We need to win, because we believe in our own rights, that at the end of the season we want to lift the trophy. And he's one of the players that have lifted before, and for some of us who have never touched it, he wants to help us. And that's all.
David?
Probably as a director that key. Last year I had a team that was coming from the bottom of the table, getting in takes and then that season, the last division top goal scorers, we were faced with less quality and younger players. How was it for you as a leader, holding that team from there to get that performance to carry from with younger players to carry this?
Well, I wouldn't call any of them young, no matter the age. You know, it's your actions, and when you have a 18-year-old that acts with maturity and knows his roles and function, and he comes out, works hard in training, fights for his spot to be in the 11 come match day, and put out a good performance, then as a captain, really all they try to do is say remain focused, because we want to sell it so we can ask some more money. but honestly, we have a good bunch. We have a good bunch. The youngsters, I have to say, hats off to them. You know, they took the instructions well, and they went out. Every game they got the chances to play. They went out and performed really well. You know, and you don't get those things often. You know, especially when players are debuting in the league. You know, you don't know what to expect. And an example of out of Fletcher, Andre Fletcher, his first season. Look at his performances. Whenever he went out there, you would never know that he's one of the younger ones and he's new to the league, because he comes to state his claim, you know, and he wants to be known. So I have to say, it's a privilege leading these youngsters, the whole team. These guys are amazing, you know, and we just have to take this in strides as you have done. And this 90-minute coming up, whoever the coach decide or the coaches decide to put out on the pitch, I trust whoever the gaffer gives me to play alongside, whichever 11, because we all train with the one coach and work really hard So, all hats off to the whole squad. Young or old, it's been a great pleasure to lead the guys.
Okay, last one, Chris.
Yes, this is such a one chance, but you as a player, you came back midway in the season. Tell me how as a player you see these, because they speak about the midfielders on their team. How are the midfielders on your team when you came back? The likes of Lamar Walker, who's a champion for schoolboy football, and Andre Lewis, who's also a schoolboy football champion and came from overseas to play with the defending champions. Just talk to me how important have they been in the success of Fort Wayne Yankees?
Well, as you see, if you have watched the game, you can see that they have played some very important roles in controlling the game and game management. Whenever they are playing, we play some good football, move the ball around. If the game is going too fast and we are coming under pressure, they also are the ones to bring the tempo down a little, to get the opponent off their game. So they have played some very important role in the success of the team in the latter part of the season. And we have to give them thumbs up for their performance.
John, final question. If we're to take from 3 games that you played with Waterhouse and all games have ended in the lockout, all square, in the final, if that should happen, would there be a greater responsibility on your shoulder? Are you burdened with that thought at this stage to go to penalties?
No, I'm not burdened. I'm a good penalty saver, so it's not anything much difficult. I have to just keep the mental focus and ensure that I execute the right things when that moment comes. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions from anyone? Just to welcome persons coming in. I think I see Hiroshima in the background. Welcome, Brandon. One last quick one.
With the Flow Caribbean, sort of for Mr. Gardner and quick remark, with the since this won't be the last time you guys are playing each other in the next couple of weeks because of the Flow Champions Caribbean Cup, how fast will you have to go from the end of this game to start training for that competition? You can start with Mr. Gardner. It's okay.
I think when the game finished, we know the job at hand. We just have to enjoy it as quickly as possible and refocus our mind. This is our job. It comes with the territory as professionals. Once a game is finished, you have to move on to the next. And this is the way we try to get the players to think. So this is the type of mind frame that the players have. So it wouldn't be too long for us to get to the frame of mind.
Okay. Coach, Ben, you had some question?
I'm here. All right. Yeah, so we, as Bibi said, that well, after the final, yes, we probably take a 1 or 2 day rest, but we just continue to do what we don't do. I don't think we'll change the script because based on the CCC, as they said it, we play against an Asian team and then we probably beat Portmore in the final. So yet again, it's a lot of light on the cherry between Waterhouse and Portmore. So we're going to look forward to it. The players know that it will be at a different level, and we are very much prepared for it because as a champion and you want to progress in life and you want to expand your career, these are the games and the championships and competition that you want to excel even more. So I agree with what Bibi said, and we are very much looking forward for it, and we are open for it as well.
David, you want to know quick one?
Well, it's not a question, but the way it started by saying this finals at a storylines, so we're going to start at a headline, Deja Vu, when the 2 hours were in the finals. Just for information, so in 1998 we won the finals. We went to the World Cup. 2019 or Waterhouse, going to our finals, and the Birds are going back to our World Cup final. So it's Deja Vu again.
Okay. Albert?
To both coaches. How much of modern day technology do you use to find out how your players are performing to their optimum best and how your opponents are performing, so you can know how to work out your team strategies against your opponents?
I mean, it's very important. It's something that we're starting to do. It's something that we're looking to do also. I think we have to buy into these moments because it's massive. This is where the game is today, and it's the only way we can get to see our opponents sometimes, because sometimes we play at the same time. So sometimes we hear and the game is going on here. For example, Waterhouse is playing, the game is playing at the same time, so we won't get a chance to go and watch on the same days. So the technology is very important where we can go back and review the game, and not only the opponents but even our own game sometimes, and that's the way we assess the players. That's the way we work on our weaknesses and try to improve the team in many different aspects.
What about data collection on your own players to see how many mileage they are completing, what level their fitness level is at?
Well, I'm not sure in any depth at the moment in terms of where we are, where that is concerned. But we give the players feedbacks in terms of marking them between 1 to 10, and we let them know about their performance. We have individual conversations with them, just as team conversations, and based on how they are performing. But it's something that we believe in. It's a way that we want to follow. We want to be as professional as possible, and that's the direction we are looking to as a football club.
We'll be back quickly. You're late, so run quickly for me.
We all know how Waterhouse fans are, but they're very passionate and they love their team, and as much as we want it, oh gosh, you know how much they want it. I have to say, they're just winners, when it comes on to supporting teams, I think you can say they're the winning crowd. Them come out in them numbers and support them team, but no pressure whatsoever. We're just humbled at the moment, to be players of such a big fan base, and we're just aiming to make them proud. That's it, no pressure.
And a word of pride, we will close it off for this morning. Thank you to all the members of all the media houses who have been here. Thank you to the PLC, KVG, and the GFF who run and host the league. Title sponsors Red Stripe, the Dina, the Star, Super Venture Studio, Just the Brand, JOT, KLS FM 89 Sports Radio, IQ, Lasco Distributors for the water and hydrate, and the media, Island Sports Network, Sportsmans, and TVJ. Special apologies for Sportsmans because they have their founder, Honorable Patrick, so I think they have a ceremony for him, so they would have been more present at the moment. Patrick wanted to say something. I have a last thing to say. Come again? A photo up for the two finals, Portmore United, the host, and Waterhouse. I just want to say on behalf of the Premier League Clubs Association, both Waterhouse and Portmore United are going to CONCACAF Club Championships. That's what was referred to earlier as the CCC. that's being played in Jamaica. One of the few occasions the finals are being played in Jamaica in May. We expect that both Waterhouse and Port United will get to the finals over the two clubs from Haiti, and that we'll have another Jamaica Club Championship in the near future in the month of May. Thank you all. There's food and refreshments at the back that we invite you to partake of when we are finished. Thank you all.
You can come and respond to the question here.
I wonder, yes.
Yes.
Right here.
Yeah, I just deleted it. I don't know how to edit tweets. There's nobody watching it anyway. So. Yeah, I made a mistake. I forgot to.
So I messaged you guys when I saw the tweet and I was on Twitter.
Yeah.
When I saw the tweet, I was like, what?
I forgot to set a setting. They're about to interview them. Do you want to ask the question now? Or?
No, he's going to.
I just need like a 30-second shot from both of them. Him mounting up and baby. We're ready.
Yeah, we're afraid of
No. Just baby.
Okay.
Last year, the final, this year.
Okay, because this is he wants to ask his first PFAJ.
The response to the use of technology.
Oh, okay. There's something in the media on TV that's called rewind. So we rewind the matches that we've played and so forth. So you see where the players, what we went wrong and what we did right. But personally speaking, other than the on-field training that has been a part of the coaching staff, I'm also responsible for taking the statistics, individual statistics. So after each game or the training session after our matches, I will not normally give a template of each individual person who had played, how much passes they had, how much interceptions or successful crosses, assists, goals scored, so forth. So we are very much moving in that stand. It can improve because we want it to be a world-class cup, and we're moving in that direction, and everybody's on board. So in seasons to come, we should be in tip-top shape as it relates to resources.
So you talk about wanting to be a world-class club. Where would you put yourself now to where you want to be?
I think we're at the midline, to be honest. You know that the resources are there, are up to par, but it can improve. And it will need money and some levels of investment. And I think that will definitely take dividends as we prepare for next season. Because next season is going to also be important. Next season is going to be even longer because we don't have CONCACAF Champions League, all being that we win the CCC qualify. So we're looking forward to it. So we're very much ready to move in that light.
Where would you be looking for this level of investment from?
Well, I know that sponsors will definitely be coming on board, the management staff and marketing unit of the club will definitely be looking at it. So we are very much looking forward to it, and that's just where the thought and the mindset is.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Checkers. Real quick. It's on here.
So let's close it out. Alright guys, that has been the final press conference for this year's Premier League 2018-2019. The finals between Waterhouse and Portmore United will be featured on Monday, and we'll be doing a pre-game show. You heard the words of both coaches. You've heard the words of the captain Katie Simpson of Waterhouse and the goalkeeper Chevron Champol. Hopefully we'll get a show. This has been Island Sports Network, and this was the press conference, the final press conference for the 2018-2019 Restaurant Premier League season.